Hello, this is Dirk from Made for Math. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about greatest common factors today. We're going to use some pretty cool manipulatives to figure out the process of determining factors, and then talk about the greatest common factor in a hands-on approach. So the first question that we might naturally ask is, what even is a factor? Well, quite simply, factors are numbers that we multiply together to get another number. For example, 2 times 3 is 6. So 2 and 3 are the factors of 6. So we talk about 2 and 3 as factors and 6 as the product, or what we multiply these two numbers together to get. The kind of tricky part is that most times, a number has more than just two factors. So the question then is, how do we figure out all the factors of a number? Well, let's jump over here to our manipulatives and show how some number tiles can help us figure this out. So let's just say that we want to try and find all of the factors of 20. So we have our bar here representing 20, and we want to figure out which pieces fit into 20. Well, we can put in 20 ones, which fits perfectly. The next one that we might try is 2, and we can see that if we put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 2s fit perfectly under our 20. If we try and fit the 3s pieces, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we see that our 3s hang out just a little bit here. So 3 is not a factor of 20. So let's get rid of those guys. We don't need them. Delete those. All right. And then let's try 4 next. If we put in our 4s, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5 4s fits perfect. And then we can try 5s. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 5s fits perfectly. And once we get into much more than that, then we start to have problems. 6s, if we add, well, 6s are too big. 6 is not a factor of 20. If we try 7 or 8 here, let's try 8, I guess. And 8 is also not a factor of 20. Let's try 10, shall we? Okay, so we got 1 10 and 2 10s fits perfectly under 20. So let's jump back over to our paper here and see if we can write down all of these factors. So we got our factors here, and the way that we're going to write these down is to just start at the top. So we have 1 and 20. So we have 2, 4, 5, and 10 in there as well. All right, so if we just like kind of connect these numbers here together, we can connect 1 and 20, and we say that 1 times 20 is 20, so 1 and 20 are factors of 20. We can also multiply 2 and 10, so 2 and 10 are factors of 20. And last but not least here, we have 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So the easy way to know when we have found all of the factors is when we start to repeat. After I write down 4 times 5, the next factor is the same thing, 5 times 4. When I see those repeated numbers, I know that I have listed all of the factors. So if we go through and say, these are the factors of a number. Well, when we talk about greatest common factor, the greatest common factor implies that we have more than one number that we're looking at. So the greatest common factor of two numbers is just what it sounds like. We find all of the factors of both numbers and then look for the highest factor that they have in common. So maybe an example of this would be beneficial. So we've already found all of the factors of 20, but maybe let's say that let's say find the greatest common factor between 20 and 24. All right, so let's start with ones. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, missed one. 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so we got 24 ones, which fits perfectly. Alrighty, let's check twos here. We got twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so twos fit perfectly under there. We have threes a shot. Remember, threes didn't work on 20, but let's see if they work here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we got 8 threes under there that fit perfectly. Alrighty, let's give fours a shot now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that fits perfectly too. We can give fives a shot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and we see that those fives do not fit perfectly under 24. So 5 is not a factor of 24. Let's give 6 a shot here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got 6s in there. We try 8s. We got 1, 2, 3 8s, which fits perfectly. And maybe we'll try 12 here as well. Just because we had 12 2s, we'll give this a shot here and see that 12 should fit underneath here as well. And we see it does. There's 2 12s. Okay, so now let's go back in and list the factors of 24 here. All right, so if we start at the lowest number here and we write that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. All right, so now let's connect the ones that go together here. We have 1 and 24 that we can connect, which is 1 times 24. We have 2 and 12, which is 2 times 12, also 24. 3 and 8 are factors of 24 with 3 times 8. And then we have 4 and 6. So 4 by 6. So we know we're done because we've completed all of the numbers up before we started repeating. So now that we have all of our factors listed for both of these numbers, let's go through and find the factors that 20 and 24 have in common. So let's list all of these factors on our next page. So we had the factors of 24 were 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. Then we had the factors of 20 were 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. All right, so now that we've got these factors listed, let's go through and find the common factors between the two, meaning the two factors that are the same, so that both of these numbers have that factor. For example, 1 is a factor of 20. It's also a factor of 24. 2 is a factor of 20 and a factor of 24. 3 is a factor of 24, but it's not a factor of 4. So 3 is not a common factor of 20 and 24. We can see 4 is a factor of 20 and a factor of 24. And then after that, if we look at 5, 10, 20, those aren't the same factors as 6, 8, 12, and 24. There's no more factors in common. So the greatest common factor of 20 is this number right here, the greatest of these factors that we have in common. So the greatest common factor of 20 and 24 is 4. And that's our final answer. And that's how we discover what the greatest common factor between two numbers is. And of course, you can do this with more than just two numbers. Just to start out, we started a little simple with just finding the greatest common factor of two numbers. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.